when players are going to Saudi Arabia, they're not going to go to
Yep.
Japan.
Yeah, that's true. And also, Serbia Milinkovic-Savic also really stood out in that encounter as well. Really bossing that midfield. And Coach Sean, did you ever have a perception of these big name players going over to Saudi and not being at the standard of European football? Did you have that perception, or did you always believe that Saudi football is at a certain level, or did it change now that you saw that performance against Real Madrid?
No, I didn't have that perception. Remember, for the next 10 years, everything will be happening in Saudi because they also have the 2034 World Cup. The level of the league is definitely increasing. And you can go back in history because before, even when I went to America, it was the same perception that a lot of players are going there to retire. And look how the MLS now is flourished and grown as one of the biggest leagues in the world. So I think Saudi Arabia, obviously, and you can't even say retire because John Duran went there at the age of 21. So it's not even a place to go and retire, but they do compensate the players lucratively for obviously playing in the league.
Yeah, and then also speaking about players that have gone to different leagues and lesser leagues, I would say Sergio Busquets playing out for Inter Miami, Lionel Messi is still playing out there, Luis Suarez and Jordi Alba all at Inter Miami. They put in quite a shift yesterday against Porto because to go 1-0 down so early in the game and then to come all the way back to grab those 3 points, 2-1 says a lot about this Inter Miami team.
I think for me, it's mental strength. For me, it's believing and not rushing things. When I saw this goal being taken, I thought Segovia took it very well. This can go horribly wrong because to time the flight of the ball, the bounce just that happens just in front of you. For you to be able to connect with the legs technique and still wrap your foot around it, keep it on target, it takes a lot of belief. As you're looking at the referees,
this is so cool. I love this feature.
What he saw when the connection was made. Yeah, a well-taken goal, and a goal like that lifts the whole team up to say, come on guys, we've got the equalizer now. Then something special needed to happen. Is the magician. And imagine a tournament where Lionel Messi gets knocked out in the group stages. How sad that can be. Yeah, I've got a few questions asked about this set play. You do? Yeah, I think look where's the wall. Look where's the wall. Look where's the keeper. I think it's too far to the middle. If your area is to cover the other side of the wall, the wall will cover the left side. You're supposed to cover that area. Should have done a little bit better, but I think obviously on this side also, I'll give Messi, that goal because the technique, it wasn't exactly top wins, was it? It was like bad.
I actually wanted to ask are you a Lionel Messi fan or you brought to the Ronaldo side of it?
I'm just saying, I'm just giving you a about the goal, but
fetch the ball upstairs so we can maybe recreate.
Yeah, no, I'll be the goalkeeper and for Musa
can take the freaking
it's a very result. Let's be honest. I think for the group stage and for the team itself, I think for Inter Miami to be in the long run will be great because it's more support also during the.
No, that really puts him up to
What pressure is he feeling now because they were not going there expecting to be out in the group stages. It puts a lot of pressure that is not in his control anymore. It's in the control of the opponents. So the two teams that are playing in the last game, they can go on and play a 0 draw, and it means Porto and also Al Ahly has to work out.
But also coming to Coach Jose Rivera, I think there was a lot of hype around him seeing what he did with Orlando Pirates, and there was big belief that he can go and replicate that with Al Ahly as well. What has sort of not clicked at the moment in his first couple of games on there?
I think it's very early days. I think he took over end of May, so it's only been like a week or two, so he hasn't really had much of an impact. There's a lot of work still to be done. I think he will be judged on the season coming up and obviously the Champions League because when it comes to Al it's always about the Champions League. That's why the previous coach was fired because they lost in the semi-finals, and I think when it comes to that, you want to be one of the biggest clubs in Africa, and the only way you can prove that is to ensure you win the Champions League. So I don't think that you'll be under pressure. You obviously, as a coach, you want to do well, you want to get results, but when certain things go against you, with the first goal being an own goal, nothing else will change.
And also your thoughts on how things have been under him, and do you believe that what he's done with Pirates, he can just go further with a club like Al-Ahly because of how big they are, and there's always that expectation, like Coach Sean said, to win the Champions League.
Most definitely. I thought that he came to Orlando Pirates not given a chance. Looking at this goal, it's something that we have to work on. Transitions, you can see that there was a possibility if Hani gets this tackle wrong, it's a red card, they're one man down. But he misses the tackle. Good balance, good composure. Wait for El Shawini to come out, and the composure to just use the instant technique to be able to just pass the ball into the back of the net. Any striker will tell you they always aim for the pole, and it goes just inside that pole. A well-taken goal, but if there's anything for Coach Jose Rivero to work on, is on those transitions. Is this defense set whenever the team is in position? Because you don't start defending when you lose the ball. You defend when you still have the ball. And Coach Sean will allude further in that to say, as much as the ball is nice, they're trying to rotate. As a coach, you look at your team and think, if we lose it here, I will go. And that's something that you have to look at to say, okay, good in position, you're looking for the ball, you're rotating from the pressure area to the non-pressure area, rotating the ball. If it breaks down, are you set? Thing that he needs to ask himself with the second ball the way he plays.
Yeah, I think also when some of your players not visible or not involved for most part of the game. I'm looking at Trezeguet, one of the key influential players that wasn't really on top of his game. And also, your team is not gonna move the ball as good as they want or as well as they want, and also get into that final third. But decision making also, I think, when it gets to the final third, even with beat up the other night, when it comes to the final third, decision making really needs to improve.
Although we're hoping that there is improvement when it comes to the final third, because looking at the log standings for Group A, also there is hope for Ali to make it through, because they do play against Porto in their next encounter. They'll need a big victory if they want to see themselves go through.
A big victory is not going to help. Inter Milan and Palmeiras play out for a draw.
Fair enough, I was expecting wins.
Win 20-0. But the thing that they have to wish is there needs to be a result in the Inter Miami versus Palmeiras game. Somebody has to lose there, then they've got an outside threat of Palmeiras. But if those two teams are really saying, foot of the bed,
Surely you can't say that.
No, you can't say.
I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm saying if both teams are happy with the draw in their last game, then it becomes very difficult mathematically for Al-Ahly, because the best they can get to is 4 points. And if those two teams at position 1 and 2 draw, they get to 5 points, and there's nothing that can be
But
done.
then I'm going to hit you with the fact that of the amount of money you get when you win a game, and you Palmeiras, you're looking at that like, I could do with an extra $2 million in my back pocket, so I'm going to go all out for that win. And maybe open the door.
You can say that. Do you think maybe in the change room they discuss money?
Didn't I say come and make your father comfortable, please?
It becomes a
Get another blanket and a pillow. What's wrong with you two?
If it's not in
But don't kill. You only want to play the game.
on the other
You know how China am as well. Tina said you find the 4 packets of mints
and that's it.
and leave
It's
put the mints in the fridge
other
for me.
people's hands.
I'm going to go near for what?
Looking at the team at the moment, like Inter
I
Miami,
would have put the two in the
their league is
freezer.
still on. So this
Yeah.
Yeah, but back the two.
and maybe that hunger will push Inter Miami playing at home to say we need the victory.
No, for sure. Of course, the reason why we're chatting everything FIFA Cup World Cup at the moment is
Where's
because
my
of the fact
TV?
that the second one between Auckland City and
Dylan, I said come and fucking sort your father out.
as of yet.
Come and give him another blanket and make it lay down. He can't stand on one to make my bed.
With the lightning still being very close to the stadium area, so we're still waiting to see when the second half will kick off. Just a reminder that it is Benfica who are leading by 1 goal to 0 over Auckland City, thanks to Ronaldo Di Maria penalty that was scored just before the break. Of course, there is one game that has kicked off over on Supersport Variety 4. It is Flamengo and Chelsea, and it's currently underway. Well, for that Chelsea backman, it's inside.
Yeah, obviously you can see there.
Alright, the match between Flamengo and Chelsea has gotten underway. I'm sorry I took so long. I was just struggling to set up everything, but everything is set. We've only missed 2 minutes so far. so it's fine.
Chelsea need to be aware.
I really want Flamengo to win. I won't lie. I'm not a Chelsea fan. But even though Chelsea is a good team, I'll give them they must. But
This is sort of expected from Flamengo at the moment. Really, sitting on top of them and trying to suffocate them. As you can see, pressing this Chelsea.
I want Flamengo to win. I'm a huge Flamengo fan. I grew up with Flamengo.
But the way that these Brazilian teams have been playing, and also Robert Sanchez giving the ball away like that also helps a lot.
Yeah, I think for me, look how high they are pressing. Look at how many red shirts.
No, don't make it mad. Let's take it like this. No, not like that. You gotta pull up your eyes.
Giving Chelsea the respect that maybe Chelsea thought they would be given. Look at the number of red shirts. We are looking at 4 or 5 girls pressing the ball, trying to take out the space and time, and try and win the ball higher up on the pitch, which makes the distance to goal a little bit short.
Maybe that's the next trend. Because that's what we said. Look what the PSG did to Man. And now you see everybody is applying that same tactic where the front pressing obviously plays with a lot of speed, putting them under pressure, the opponents, and then regaining possession. So it makes it easier also to create opportunities for yourselves.
All right, let's have a look at some of the top goals that have been scored so far in the FIFA Club World Cup. There's been some absolute bangers so far in the tournament, so let's have a look at those. There's been fantastic goals that have been scored so far in this tournament, and we're hoping to see a whole lot more being scored in the tournament. But I think we need to change our focus to a game that is of big importance for South Africa, and that is, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns taking on Borussia Dortmund tomorrow. Umutso, just speak about Sundowns' chances of perhaps making it through to the knockout phase. Not perhaps, but we believe that they should make it through, but a big test against Borussia Dortmund stands in their way.
I think the world is going to get a shock. We're not going to be shocked in South Africa because we know the quality that Mamelodi Sundowns possesses. I looked at that Dortmund team playing with a back three, and I looked at Sundowns and thought, if they've got Reyners making those runs in behind, if they've got Mushishi conducting the choir in that 10th row, the movement of Ribeiro to be able to occupy those wide spaces. I thought Matthews played well. It's a back three, the Sula, and then
alright, there's the match. Finally got it.
To the Leopards.
be a little bit more forceful than Jackson, who's been Chelsea's main striker for a couple of years now. Perhaps doesn't quite get as many instincts. He should be not bad in that respect. I should point out his defence. Jesse. Stopped by Caicedo. Here's Pedro Neto playing on the left today. He was on the right when he scored his goal with AFC. Waiting gets back, helped out by Danilo. I spoke to Danilo yesterday and I said, what advice would you give? You played against English clubs, played in England for Manchester City for a couple of years. Have you spoken to some of the younger players? He said, yeah, I've told them one word, run. And well, they're running pretty well in this opening chapter of this particular story.
Right, everything is sorted now. We are underway.
Don't think it's talking out of
Yep.
turn to say that
Yep. Welcome. Chelsea vs Flamengo. I want Flamengo to win. I'm a huge fan of Flamengo. I don't really like Chelsea. Although they're a very good team with Cole Palmer, I need Flamengo to win. So far the score is 0-0. Flamengo was actually dominating with the most possession, with over 70% of possession. But let's see how this match results.
And that time there are not so many Chelsea players involved that he actually played with his time at Stamford Bridge. For offside, but the flag stays down. Jersey goes on. He might have been in his own half. And there's Gaeta involved. Absolutely in his own half. Very well timed run.
Flamengo are dominating.
Put Chelsea out end product, not quite. Nearly, but not quite. Figures from the first set of games, very encouraging for the organisers. This is pretty simmering, hasn't it, from the start, really. The referee knows where the card is going. If it's Moises Caicedo, it's a bit of an occupational hazard for him.
Coming back now.
Too close to the spot where Manchester City's Rico Lewis got sent off here a couple of days ago. Caicedo on Jorginho. Chelsea on ex-Chelsea. Really got the excuse of the eyesight not being perfect that much for a while now. It's James talking to Jess. I don't know linguistically how that would work, but I think the captains might want a bit of a dampener on this, but it's great to watch, to say. To use a good old English expression, it's proper. And it is a free kick for Flamengo. Jorginho gets very few goals from open play. Not sure how much of a threat he is. Caicedo. South American battle. Chelsea trying to hold the line. They've been training at Philadelphia University. Here's Pedro Neto going all the way. He scored in the other game. He put the ball in the net here. And Chelsea's
What happened? Oh my, I was just getting sweet, bro. I was getting sweet. And Chelsea have scored the opening goal, man. I think it's Pedro Neto. Let's see.
And Chelsea have the lead.
I was getting sweet. I just here. Let's see what happened. I think that's Pedro Neto.
Well, they hit him twice,
It
but
bounced off the guy's head, proceeded to run. Flamingo's defense is terrible.
from one angle it did look like a handball.
He went by a finish, man. Pedro Neto.
That would have been a huge score in his time in England, both for Chelsea and for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But he banged them into the lead in Atlanta, and he's done the same here in Philadelphia. Danilo reflects.
Oh, Danilo, man. You know, Danilo used to be good, man, when he was playing for Man City.
Are looking bright in their white, Chelsea. Wesley. Followed by Pulgar. Chilean in midfield.
These topics are hard, man.
Wesley. Such a play by Eric Pulgar. Wish they asked him, but did ask too much for Ojo. Pause for thought for Felipe Luis. Well, Danilo telling us yesterday that he was advising his teammates to run. Well, they couldn't run faster than Pedro Neto, who sped away to score. Under that. That's the kind of contribution of physicality that Lee Jackson hasn't got quite so much of. Nicholas Jackson is very swift. And here's Gonzalo Plata. Flamengo looking to hit back, but that's down the slot for Sanchez. Gusto. Caicedo.
Come on, Flamingo, man.
Wesley wants to retrieve Gerson. Chelsea pressing. Enzo Fernandez is not as quickest off the mark, but he's certainly got a very sharp football brain. Neto, of course, has come back to Chelsea and scored in these 2 games after winning the Nations League with Portugal. That's something put us ringing a step. It's Enzo Fernandez flying in this time. He got sent off in his last game for Argentina. He's very combative. Chelsea fans have announced themselves now with their voices. Jorginho. Wesley. Jorginho and Skyeta was a little lazy really, he was caught offside. They threw a ball over the top. Where's his header? Caicedo is got to be careful, his game is a strong man in midfield.
You know, I'm very disappointed that Flamengo have gone down. Honestly speaking, as I said, bro, since we can't, because if I do put the Chelsea footage, it'll get copyrights. You know, I won't be able to watch nothing, bro. So if watch it with me, watch your TV and watch my reaction together, and we can watch together, bro.
the kickoff. Flying into each other. Flamengo and Chelsea. Colwell. Kukurea. Who won't be far away from the action if it spills over again. Still maybe competitive. Challenge into the back of Pedro Neto.
Dylan, you still got time to play games, yeah?
Flamengo look like they don't want to play.
Not ranting, but just having a word.
They didn't have much sense to play.
Trying to steal it back was Ayrton and Lucas. Probably won't be in the team. Alex Santos is the regular. Sandro is the regular left back. And he's been injured. He did come and talk to the media yesterday. Not quite fit. He's ready for the third group game. Thought for a moment he might get that. Struggling with Leo Pereira. Get the way out of trouble here, and they've done that. Leo Pereira just turning around saying, "Where were you?" to his mates. He's rather isolated, certainly in his own mind. Here's Caicedo. Fernandez, that's it wrong. Caicedo. Chalawa. Kukurea. Caicedo trying to angle it through to Enzo Fernandez, who's done much better for Chelsea since he's been given a role ahead of two number sixes, if you like. Today, Caicedo and Reece James. Jorginho. I'm sure Chelsea believe that they can press it and they nick the ball in that kind of area, but he came up trumps that time. Danilo just got there into that sense another moment. There's Wesley.
Flamengo's on the attack. Cuts out. Okay, they're back on the attack.